Dear students, we are going to study about the procedures and functions, which is the 6th exercise. So when we talk about, so this is done using PLSQL. Okay, so we are going to study first what is PLSQL. PLSQL, it stands for Procedural Language Extension of SQL. So what is PLSQL? Procedural Language Extension of SQL. So procedural language is PLSQL. It is the combination of what? The SQL along with the procedural features of programming languages. Okay, so SQL along with the procedural features of programming languages. So it was developed by Oracle Corporation in the early 90s to enhance the capabilities of SQL. So each PLSQL program consists of SQL and PLSQL statement, which forms the PLSQL block. Okay, so what are the things it contains? SQL and PLSQL statement, which forms the PLSQL block. So the block consists of 3 sections. So one is the declaration section, one is the execution and the exception section. So the declaration is also optional, and the exception handling, that is error handling, okay, that is also optional, but the execution session is very mandatory. Okay, so what are the things present in the declaration session we can see. So the declaration section of PLSQL block starts with the reserved keyword declare. It has a keyword. When we are going for the declaration session, it starts with the keyword declare. This session is optional and is used to declare any placeholders like variables, constants, records, cursors, which are used to manipulate the data in the execution session. Okay, so it holds variables, constants, records, cursors, which are used to manipulate, change the data in the execution session. The declaration session. Next is the execution session. So execution session is the next session block in PLSQL, which starts with the reserved keyword begin and ends with ends. Okay, see, it starts with the keyword begin and it ends with end. This is a mandatory, very important session. Okay, this is a must session where it holds the program logic. Okay, is written to perform any task. So this session has the program logic, written program logic. The program constructs like loops, conditional statement, SQL statements forms the part of the execution session. So first we studied about the declaration session. So it has a keyword called declare. When we start a declaration session, it starts with declare. For what purpose? Declare it is the place. It declares any placeholders like what? Variable, constants, records, and cursors, which are used to manipulate the data in the execution session. So this in the execution session. So here execution session, now you understood. It begins with the keyword begin and ends with the keyword end, and it is a very mandatory session. It has the program logic. Then also it also has loops, control statements, everything here. Exception section. The exception session of PLSQL block starts with the keyword exception, or we can keyword exception. This session is optional. Okay, so any errors in the program can be handled in this session. So it is an error exception is an error handling session. Okay, any errors can be handled in this session so that the PLSQL blocks terminates gracefully. The PLSQL blocks contain exceptions that cannot be handled. The block terminates abruptly with errors. If it cannot handle the error exceptions, the blocks terminates. So now we can see a sample PLSQL block. How a PLSQL block will be. So first it has the declare session. Then begin means execution. End exception means exception session. Okay, so declare session, it has variable declaration. Begin session is it has program execution. Exception session, it exception handling. Then it end. So begin and end comes under execution session. So this is how we are going to start this PLSQL program. Okay. So what you have to do, as soon as you connect to the computer with the username password, again you are using this connect us this database. Okay. So here you have to give your username and password again. So it is connected. Now you have to use this one. Set server output on. So here you are typing the program. And so what are the things we have to give for it? So once the program is executed, these are the outputs you get. Okay. So we can see now there are two types, procedure and function. So stored procedure or simple or proc is the name for PLSQL block, which performs one or more tasks. Okay, this is similar to procedure in other programming languages. Okay, so procedure in other programming as similar as the procedures in other programming language. So this procedure, it has a header and a body. Okay, see, it has a header and a body. Header, what are the things it consists? Consists of name of the procedure, parameters of variables passed to the procedure. Okay, so procedure name, parameters or variable passed to the procedure. What are the things body contains? Body consists of a declaration session. Body, we call it as the declaration session, execution session, exception session. Okay, similar to the general PLSQL block. Okay, body contains these three sessions. So head contains the parameter. It has a name and the parameter to be passed. So this is the syntax for procedure. So this is the syntax for procedure. What is the syntax? Create. We have to use everything in this. Okay, create or replace procedure. You have to use this procedure. We are giving a name for the procedure. Then list of parameters. So it starts with is. Then declaration session. Then execution session, exception session. This is the syntax for using procedure. So now we have to study what is parameter. Okay, this is the syntax for procedure. So we know it uses a list of parameters. So we can see what are the list of parameters. Parameters are the means to pass values to and from the calling environment to the server. Okay, to and from, it passes the values in the calling environment to the server. These are the values that will be processed or returned via the execution of the procedure. These are the values which will be processed or returned through the execution of the procedure. There are three types of parameters, that is in, out, in, out. That is input, output, input and output. Okay, parameters. Modes specify whether the parameter passed is read in or a receptacle or what comes out. That is, okay. So what parameter is passing in and what is coming out? That is the modes here specified. That is input parameter, output parameter, input and output parameter. Here is the types of parameters. So mode is in, description, passes a value into the program. Out means passes a value back from the program. In and out means passes values in and also sends values back. This is the types of parameters used in procedure. So for function call, okay. So header, we know. What are the things present in header? Procedure, then the name of the procedure, then inside the parameter, in, number, name, out, worker. So input is input parameter, that is the number. So during the procedural call, execute. So likewise, it is executing. Execute, find name, the procedure name, find name. Then what? The number and the name. Okay. Now we can see with an example, then you can get a clear idea. So to execute a stored procedure, that is procedure to execute. There are two ways to execute a procedure. Okay, first one is from the SQL prompt itself you can execute, or within another procedure. Simply use the procedure name. That's all is enough. So from the SQL prompt, how you will be executing. You are using execute keyword, or you can use EXEC keyword, and you can use the procedure name. Then the program will be executed. Here just we are executing with another procedure. Within another procedure, simply use the procedure name. That's just the procedure name for execution. Okay. So we can see a program here. So this is the first program, that is create or replace. So this is the keyword which is used here. See, used here. See, create or replace procedure, procedure name, list of parameters. So it is given in this. Okay, see, create or replace procedure sample. We are giving a we are give a content displaying it. That's all. Okay. So here no procedure parameters. So create a replace procedure, that is sample procedure name. Okay. Now what is the begins with yes, then begin. This is the statement which you have to print. Okay. So what you have to give, DBMS output dot print line. So printing this string. Okay. We have to use this one. Like printfs, printf. Okay. So in C we'll be using them. Likewise here, DBMS output dot print line greetings. So when we run the program, the procedure is created. Okay, when we give end and run the program, procedure is created. So see, another one thing, I want to execute this program. Now you have typed this program. See, you have typed this program. You want to execute the program. What you have to do first? What you have to type? Set server output on. This you have to type first. Okay, this you have to type first. Set server output on. Then what? Then you are going to execute the sample program. So what is the procedure for executing in SQL prompt? What you have to give? EXEC, execute. That procedure name. The procedure name is sample. See, the procedure name is what? Sample. Okay. So this is how we are executing the procedure program. Okay. The procedure is completely executed. There is a second program, that is create or replace procedure. See, create or second program. Okay, create or replace procedure. This is the keywords used in the syntax. Okay, so create or replace procedure. The procedure name is ename. Okay, so here we are. What you are going to do means, see, the list of parameters are given. You are going to join two strings, that is first name and last name. So what is your input? Number. Okay, so number, which employee number you want to concatenate. Okay, name, which employee name you have to concatenate. That number, employee ID you are giving, that is the number. Okay, so number is the input variable, input parameter. So what will be the output? First name, last name, that is out given. No, so these two are the output parameters. So it begins with is, then begin, select. What you have to give? What you have to give here? Select. See, here you can see the correct. See, this line. Select first name, last name into first name, last name from employee, where employee ID is equal to number. So what is the meaning for this? You are getting the first name, last name, and putting inside the first name, last name column. Okay, these are columns, number, first name, last name, these are columns. Here again, you are putting the variables, that values into first name, last name column from employees, where employee ID is number. Okay, number, which number you are giving, that employee name will be concatenated. So output, what you have to do? DBMS output dot put line the function you are giving inside. What you have to do? First name, concatenation, last name. You are going to join first name and last name end. Okay. So the procedure, it is created. So we can run this program using declaration also. So for calling the procedure, we are going for declaration session. Okay, so declaration to procedure. We are calling the procedure. No, here we are declaring to procedure, that is function varchar, that data type. Sorry, first name, last name. So first name varchar 20, last name varchar 2. Begin e name, that procedure name. See the procedure you are calling here. Two variables you have declared here. Okay, two variables you have declared here. What is the variable? First name varchar 20, last name varchar 20, begin. Now in the execution part, begin, we are calling this function e name. See the function e name, with the function e name, what are the things it has? Number, first name, last name. So here we are giving the particular number, which employee's name should be concatenated. Okay, number, then the first name and the last name end. Okay, this is the calling the procedure. We are calling the procedure using the procedure. See, using the procedure name, we have called the procedure here. Okay. Now see, when you run this program, you will get this one. Nina and Ajay. Nina is the first name, Ajay is the last name. So PLSQL procedure successfully completed. So when you use this one, this query, select first name, last name from employees, where employee ID 101, you will get this value correctly. So these two are concatenated, that we are getting in the procedure. Okay, as a output. Did you understand the procedure? So next we can go for the function. So procedure, that is the syntax and that is the way of forming the procedure. Okay, so function, we can see in the function. Function is the named PLSQL block, which is similar to the procedure. It's just like the procedure only. But the main difference between procedure and function is procedure does not return a value, but function must always return a value. See, when you use a procedure function, it must always return a value, but a procedure may or may not return a value. Okay, but function, there is no option, it must return a value, always return a value. So this is the syntax for function. Okay, so there we used to procedure name, here we are using function. Okay, so create or replace function name, then parameter list, then it must return. See, here we are using before is, what is mentioned? Return data type. Okay, then we are going for the declaration session, then we are going for the execution session, then return. See, here after execution it must return. Okay, it must include this statement, which must include this statement, return variable exception, then again return variable end. This is the syntax for using function. So for example, we are using a program calculator. See, we are writing a program for calculator. So create or replace, this is the keyword, create or replace function. The function name is calc. Then what are the parameter? We need to input variable. Okay, so here we no need to use that in, out, anything. So here just you give the parameter list, that's all. In procedure only we will be using three types of modes of parameters, that is in, out and in, out. Okay, here we no need to give any in, out, anything. So just you give the parameter list. What are the parameters? A, B and option. Okay, character, it is a character. Return, it must return, it will return what? Number. When we give two variables, and it will return number as output. Okay, So is begin if option is plus then operator. Okay. This operator is plus then return a plus b. Else if operation is minus, then it return a minus b. Else if operation is star, then it return a star b. Else return a slash b end if n. Just like an ordinary program we have given in this SQL prompt. Okay. So now we have run the program. Okay. How we will be running? See, select calculator 10, 30 and what operation we are going to perform? Star from DL. Okay. It will return the function. See the function calculator. What type of operation it is performing? 10 star 30. It is giving 300. Okay, for function. Then we can see this program for calculating the grade. How it is in a function, how it is written. See, create or replace function. The function name is calculate grade. So what are the things we need? Student's ID in number. Okay. So return varchar. So it will return in string. Okay. Character. That is varchar we are giving here. Okay. The output will be in varchar, character. Okay. So what are the things we need? We are declaring in the declaration part. What are the things we are declaring? Total score, that is in number. Average score, that also in number. Grade in varchar, that is character. So now we are beginning the execution. What is first calculator? Total score is calculator. For total score, we need the marks. Okay. Now total score from the student new. Where from student new means from student table. Okay, table name. Table. From table student, where ID of the student is this, number 1. First ID, roll number 1. Likewise. Okay. Now it is calculating the average score. Average score is what? Total divided by 3. 3 marks we have given 3. Determines for grade, next for grade. If average score is greater than 90, then the grade is A. Okay. Then else if the average score is greater than or equal to 80, then average score is less than 90, then it is grade B. Else if average score is greater than or equal to 70 or average score is less than 80, then it will be grade C. Else if average score greater than or equal to 60 or average score is less than 70, then grade D. Else grade F, fail. Okay. So end if it returns. See, here also we have to mention the return. Return varchar. Here we have to mention returning the grade. Okay, it returns grade. So for this function, we have to use calling the function. We studied calling the procedure, the same format. We are using calling functions. Okay. So what are the things present in function call? Have a declaration. Okay. A declaration part and an execution part. So in declaration part, what are the things you will be giving? Student ID, we are giving as 1. So student grade, varchar. Okay. These two are the declaration part. So what you have to calculate? So begin. This is the function name, calculate grade. See, we are calling that function here. So student grade is equal to what? Student grade. See, here we have declared here. So student grade is equal to calculate the function student ID. Grade of the student ID. Okay. So what are the things we are going to do here? DBMS output dot put line. What thing? Student. We are concatenating these strings. Okay. Student has a grade of the student grade. What value is calculated? Here it will be displayed here. So student ID has a grade of the student, the ID number, the student of roll number, what? ID number 001 has a grade of this grade, what, A or B or C, F, it will be given like that, the ending the program. So what will be the output? Student 1, he has a grade of A. So it is successfully compiled. So this is the function. So we are writing the program here. Then in the declaration, the function call we are creating, then function call. Okay, so that declaration part, and in that only we are calling that function. Okay, in the execution part we are calling the function. So the output is this. Thank you, students. So kindly view this video and do the sixth exercise. Otherwise, you'll feel very difficulty. So prepare well and do it. I will. Okay.